you?
Are we going? Are you ready for Combat Night?
And we're back. After an awesome night of fights in Jacksonville, Florida, we are here for the Combat Night Peo DUVAL recap show, joined by Mitchell and Black Santa. What's up, guys?
Oh, you already know. Duval.
Yeah, so on the Duval chant, I think we hit the under on the number of times we thought we were going to hear that throughout the night.
What was the number?
15.
15. How many times did I say? I know I said it like at least 5 times.
Yeah, and it wasn't just for you. It was, just for the whole audience and the whole crowd in general. Because usually I feel like we could expect to hear it at least 15 times, and it was noticeably not so as present last night.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville in general is like from the first time I fought in Jacksonville to now. I feel like I don't know if it's these home prices, but Jacksonville getting kind of like bougie on us. I don't know. I looked in the crowd. I was like, the crowd that I see in Jacksonville last night versus the crowd when I fought in Jacksonville maybe like 4 years ago, it's a different kind of crowd. And not to say anything bad about them, I'm saying Jacksonville definitely is getting kind of bougie up there. Like
getting a little more sophisticated.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like,
oh man. Well, nevertheless.
That's not a bad thing, Miles.
No, nothing. That's why we haven't heard as many Duval chants as before. Because I remember when I first fought, it was like after every other fight, they're like Duval, like
yeah. That's what I thought too.
This card too, we didn't have a lot of Duval guys fighting, like on the pro side, which is where I feel like that happens a lot. What was it? Ricky Chiappa, Walter Zelaya, and Corey Taylor. I'm sure I'm missing one.
I'm looking. Seth. Yeah, I think that was it on the pro side.
Yeah, I think did Corey do the Duval thing?
Yeah, Corey definitely did it.
I think Corey's the only one.
Yeah, and Seth in his information sheet, he put his hometown was, and he spelled it out.
That's dope. Yeah, but good fights, man. Good fights.
Yeah, some incredible fights, and right off the bat, we'll talk about the main event between Jeremiah McDougal and Ali Abusalam. That was our main event for the evening, a welterweight bout where Ali came in undefeated, Jeremiah carrying that 9-1 record, and J-Mac picked up the unanimous decision in what was an incredibly even, well-matched bout where both of those guys, had their moments, and Jeremiah just had, more of those moments. Excuse me. What did you think of that fight, Miles?
I think it was your classic. Everybody knew what Ali wanted to do, especially in his first, 4 professional bouts of his career. What he does is he takes you down and drags you into deep waters, as we mentioned before in the commentary, during the commentary section. Like, as the fight goes on, that's when he starts to pick up. A lot of times you see guys come out, sharp in that first round. It's sort of like witherweight in the third round. But Ali, he's, warms up, takes you down to the third round. So I think Jeremiah and his team, they knew that to be expected. But I did see a lot more, head kicks and a lot more strikes out of Ali during this fight camp, during this particular fight up against Jeremiah. But I think Ali was just, he was them head, like all of take like just 1 inch, close. I was like, man, one of these things just might land, because he was throwing those kicks, out of nowhere. But I think just Jeremiah, it's just the experience, right? You're going up against a guy who has 10 fights versus a guy who's going on, into his 5th professional bout. So I think just the experience and just the slick, just movement there of Jeremiah was allowed him, to come out victorious.
Yeah, when Jeremiah was walking out, Ali walked first. When Jeremiah was walking out, Ali was in the ring stretching, and he ended up sitting in like a straddle split for a while. He was waiting on Jeremiah to get in the cage.
I was like, that don't hurt.
But it showed with the effortlessness with which he was able to whip those, those kicks up. It was like he was throwing hooks followed by, roundhouse kicks.
Yeah, and I think if he just say for instance, if you just put like maybe like a 3-punch combination before the kicks, some of those might have landed, but if you just like throw just one hook and a kick, or just I don't know, let me throw it, now it got up there, but I think you just have to just sort of like catch your opponent off guard with something else first. You don't just want to throw your power shot just out of nowhere. You want to set it up with something first, maybe like jab up top, jab down low, then come over the top with a head kick, jab cross hook, then a head kick.
And still he had, like what we expect to see from Ali is that incredible cardio, and credit to J-Mac for, matching his pace the whole fight. And J-Mac also brought, those trademark boxing of his that is so tight. So what about you, Chamale?
Sorry, sharing some stories over here about this live. It was a great fight, great back and forth. I thought it was 1-1 going into the third round. And I think what was the big factor in it, we kind of knew what both guys wanted to do. And I think it was a matter of who was able to keep the center of the cage and kind of keep the pace at their fight, or keep the fight at their pace. And even though, J-Mac's pace wasn't necessarily like, I think it might have been like a little bit of a slower pace than what Ali would normally do in a fight, but the fact that he was the one in the middle of the cage, making Ali circle a lot, making Ali move a lot, not letting Ali really get comfortable. I think it really, that was the big difference for me, was the guy who controlled the center of the cage was the one who was winning. And, J-Mac was able to do that in the third round and pull out the win, the unanimous decision. Great fight, though.
Prior to that, we had our co-main event with Tyler Keating out of Tampa, Gracie Pack. He came in 2-2, and he faced Corey Taylor, who's 4-1. And Corey picked up the unanimous decision victory in that fight. And what was another like hard fought contest between these guys. I think Corey showed some the grappling that he has with an ability to control a guy that he takes down. And we spoke to him today, and he said there was a head clash that happened during the course of the fight. He's got a knot on his head that he said made his sight like flash, and then he ended up taking the fight to the ground and was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this here for a minute, because he was trying to get his wits about him. But a great fight for Corey against Tyler, who came in hot.
Yeah, that fight, another one of those fights, it was kind of like the main event. There was very back and forth in the first and the second round. I saw the shot that Corey was talking about. He was saying that whenever the guy threw it, he hit him with a hook. And I saw the hook land, but Corey's back was to us, so you couldn't really see where the hook landed. You just saw it kind of Corey react. And he kind of like, Corey said that like a knuckle hit him in the eye. Mm-hmm. And like it kind of threw him for like a oh shit moment. And then when he came in to grab him for a takedown, they butted heads. But then in the second round, he was saying that Tyler got him down, and he was like, nope, we're just gonna stay here. He's like, I'm gonna lose this round. He was like, I kind of took the whole round off, kind of getting my energy back and just kind of getting ready for that third round during that second round. And he was like, and then in the third round, I just knew I had to be on top. When he got that takedown right away, I think he was saying when he got a takedown right away, he was like, well, fuck.
Thoughts on that, Miles?
Yeah, no, same thing with what Mitch was saying, when it just comes down to, and then especially to asking, that's why sometimes, actually, who you want to thank your sponsor with that, but then it's like, hey, what was going through your head going into that third round? Because like you said, it was, 1-1. You had the first round, he had the second round, so it's just a matter about what is it. Sometimes I like to know, what is it that your coaches, are telling you to that we can come out like that, in the third round, when it's like that, I need it. I know that I need this third and final round because it's 1-1 going into it. Sometimes some coaches, as we're sitting cage, the head coach is like, all right, come on, man, lock in. You need to do better. But coach, tell me, how do I, do better? So I like the way that Corey Taylor was able to listen in, his coaches, his cornermen, all those UFC veterans were able to provide him with, adequate advice. Hey, this is what you need to do. You need this third round, take things down to the ground, and then work. You want to be able to stay active. And it wasn't like Corey just took him down and just like, just rested. Still, looking for submissions here and there, a little bit of ground and pound here and there, because as we saw last night, these referees, they want to see action. Otherwise, they'll stand you up.
And prior to that, we had much anticipated heavyweight bout, Brad Taylor and Clay Jackson, and what was probably
that was the knockout of the night, I think.
It had to be the knockout of the night. Brad Taylor came in and got the job done. The Axe Man dropped the axe, and Apple Pie got rocked with a bomb that hit him on top of his head, and with zero hesitation, Brad Taylor dropped on him, big hammer fists, and official call to stop to the fight. That was an incredible fight. That left us just a little bit like,
it was like, whoa. And the storm just kept on coming too. We knew it was gonna happen. We're just like, if one of these land, it's gonna be like,
he was winging them, and I don't know exactly how long the fight lasted. It was a couple of minutes, and they were trading, throughout the course of those couple of minutes, and Brad just kept on throwing that big heavy bomb, and actually landed some good shots, and Apple Pie did. Apple Pie's hands were looking fast. He was landing some hard ones and twos, but obviously Brad had the showstopper.
Yeah, man.
The top knockouts of the year for Combat Night, I think.
I mean, it's got to be, man. It's got to be. Apple Pie is 7-1, I believe. Brad Taylor coming in at 5-10. His last, it's on a 5-fight losing streak. He fought Austin Lane. He fought Lorenzo Hunt. He fought all these killers. It wasn't really like taking it serious, he was saying, and he said he really took this one serious. Took a long time to train. He didn't want to end the way he ended his career. Keep in mind, this guy's got no reason to be doing this. That's the craziest thing to me. He got a great, successful business, got an awesome family that loves him. He's by the crowd you saw, he's got a great bunch of friends. He was the biggest ticket seller last night. This dude OG came back and took the crown for biggest ticket seller, biggest knockout. And honestly, like he was a vibe the whole night. I was telling you guys at the commentating booth that he was like dressed to the nines, hanging out with his friends and partying, just having a good time until a couple fights before his fight. Then he went back there and he locked in. He did the gritty when he got in the cage. After he won, he jumped up, almost fell over the cage. If you watched the celebration, he like caught himself, like, oh shit, almost got a little too excited. But I know that cage hop had to be special for him. It was a very cool moment for me. It was a shock moment. My mouth was dropped. I hate it for Apple Pie. I feel like he was right there for the big show. But at heavyweight, it only takes one, and that overhand right, I've watched that video so many times. I don't even know how Brad's able to throw it that hard and that fast. It's honestly like it's crazy to see. But he's beat Lorenzo. He has a win over Lorenzo Hunt, a win over Alex Nicholson. So he's no slouch.
Yeah, sometimes those are the guys that you got to be worried about. The guys who really don't have, anything loses, like they just go out and they just, man, fuck it. Like what I got to lose? So they just, throw caution to the wind and just go out there, and that's what he did.
Yep.
Yeah, it was cool to see him just kind of build that moment for himself, and then come through and just kind of like claim the night. Really.
Yeah.
I would say he was the biggest underdog on the card.
Yeah. Props to him. Prior to that, we had a welterweight bout between the Crimson King, Ricky McConico, and Lucas Rue. Ricky came in 1-1. Lucas came in 2-1. Pretty even fight, hard fight. Ricky won by unanimous decision, and we know Lucas wasn't happy with that.
No, he wasn't. Not at all. Yeah.
But
that's why they say don't leave it to the judges. The judge's decision.
I will say I did not watch the whole fight. I forget what pulled me away. Something happened. But I watched the third round. I thought Ricky won the third round. I heard it was a lot of people say it was probably 1-1 going into the third round. Personally, I thought Lucas had his moments too in the third round, but for me, Ricky was just coming at him. I felt like great, evenly matched fight. I think I went back and watched some of the highlights on the phone, to see how it went. I can't wait to watch the whole fight back. A lot of people said it was a pretty close fight. I hate it. These are the matchups I hate, man. I think both these guys are stupid talented. But these are the fights they got to get the right experience. I think that, for Lucas, the fight still happened so early in his career that like it's not, I think he should keep fighting like he's fighting, stay busy, figure it out. And then for Ricky, what a big win for Ricky. I mean, huge win in my opinion. Both these guys had the same loss on their record against Ali Abuzulam, who was the main event against J-Mac, and which is also clearly no slouch. He's undefeated 4-0. So yeah, I'm so excited to see both these guys continue to grow.
Miles, did you talk to Lucas? I know he came by the commentary.
Yeah, I told him. He was asking me. He was like, "Man, how did you score?" I was. It was probably like everybody said. 1-1 going into the third round. I think it was just a matter of, and this is why also too I was talking to Hank during the amateur thing, because every time I sit next to whether it's a judge, whether it's a referee or somebody from the commission, I'm like, tell me what exactly is the criteria, and what weighs more? Is it heavy grappling? Is it the striking and stuff like that? So I think for Lucas, it's a matter about his frustration was like, dude, I took this guy down and I controlled him and stuff like that. But I think what the judges were looking for is just lots of action when it comes to the strikes and whatnot. I think that's what Hank and other judges in the past like. It's all about effective striking. Like, yeah, somebody could get take you down a bunch of times, but how much significant damage when you took them down,
Yes.
versus when they were up on their feet. Yeah, they might have been up on their feet, for 1 minute, and you took them down for like 2.5 minutes. But it's a matter about like the level of damage. Like, so was Lucas ever in a threatening finishing sequence? No, it was never. There was never a point in there where Ricky McConaughey was about to knock out Lucas or finish him on the feet. Yeah, he had a little mouse under his eye, but if anybody knows MMA gloves, sometimes all it takes is just one, and it looks a lot worse than what it can be. So definitely, like you said, I think Lucas definitely go back. I know he's got a wedding coming up, take time off, and then just come back, like cliche, like they say, just come back even stronger. Like, this definitely, I know it's not gonna stop him. And then for Ricky McConaughey, like, just continue to build upon this, like, and just keep on going, ride this momentum out.
Yeah, it was such an evenly, fought fight. And I know we've talked previously about, damage and how we're like trying to recalibrate and understand like significant striking versus just, like seeing damage. There was that little nick under Lucas Leroux's eye, but McConaughey actually, had nothing on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And so just off that, kind of like visual presentation, you just see some damage on one guy. Not that is the deciding factor or anything, but
yeah, I don't believe the word damage is in the scoring criteria. I know they're changing some things now, but scoring criteria is so important for guys to know that, understand it, and at the end of the day, this is still a game, right? It's like fighting is as real as it gets, but it's still, they got a way to win, and there's a clear cut set of way to do that. A lot of guys have no idea what that scoring criteria is. To be honest with you, a lot of coaches have no idea what that scoring criteria is. I've been in sport a long time, and I've heard some really funny reasons why people thought they won their fight, and it's like, man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But like, I do wish that the sport in general, that the athletes, especially the coaches, would get more educated, not just about the scoring criteria, but also about the different commissions and the rules in the different states and the medicals and the proper way to cut weight, all these things, man. Just, it's still a really young sport, so you're gonna have moments like this. But even with that being said, from what I heard, I talked to some of the judges too, just kind of getting the word on it. And Miles, what you said was what I was told as well by two of the judges, that he had landed some good takedowns, but there wasn't a whole lot of damage, or like what do they call it? Like effective. It's just kind of like
effective. They say effective striking.
Yeah.
And then cage control, aggression, and stuff like that. That's how a couple of judges in the past and referees. I think in Florida they should bring, when I fought in Kansas, they should bring to let them know, okay, what you got. Like, they, I was in my corner, Coach X was in my corner, and then the lady came over with the iPad and said, Blue, you
I
got
love
this.
that.
Then the lady came on next round, say, Red, you got this round. So just a matter about trying to implement, trying to like figure out a way that Florida can adopt their, spin on it to let them know, hey, red corner, you won this round. Hey, blue corner, you lost this round. Like to let them,
Yeah.
oh shit, I got to pick it up. Because
We're
sometimes
actually
guys could just coast into going into the third round.
we were actually trying to get that implemented here in Florida. The commission's actually, again, guys, I praise the commission all the time. I love the commission. I think they do a great job, but the concern was the safety of the judges. The safety of the judges, like my guy, get good judges that know how to score fights, and if they're doing it the right way and they're doing their job correctly, then there should be no concern of the safety of the judges. That's like saying the refs have to wear a mask because we're worried about their safety if they ref a fight wrong. Like refs ain't getting beat up in the parking lot. I think they're good. Ain't no judge getting beat up in the
Yeah, but
parking lot.
afterwards, I can see the bout sheet. I see your name. I see
Yeah.
what you scored it. So to me, that's even more potentially dangerous. There's no other sport where I don't know the score. Like
while
in
it's
golf,
happening.
I know I hit a par. In football, I score a touchdown. In basketball, every time I get the ball in the hoop, I score. Like bowling, every time I hit a pin. Every single sport other than combat sports, I know how much I scored. Gymnastics, as soon as I land, they put the score up right there on the board. Like, so I don't understand why when it comes to combat sports, we don't figure out how much I got until the end of the game. Like,
I agree as well, man. I think it changes the game completely when that happens, to be honest with you. I think it really changes the game whenever that does happen. I think it will happen eventually. But I think it makes it more interesting and more entertaining. I wouldn't be surprised if a big reason why they're not doing it has something to do with like the live betting. I wonder how much money they would lose if people stopped doing the live bet, or they couldn't do the live betting because they're announcing the scores.
I mean, but it's no different than football. You can bet, going into the fourth quarter, they have, you see ESPN bet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They say, okay, you have this percentage of winning now with 5 minutes left, this percentage winning now with 2 minutes left. Like,
I wonder if maybe it doesn't keep it a little. Do you think it makes it dirtier or potentially cleaner by having points? Because then, it could introduce like point spreads and all this type of stuff, the way that, so much sports betting is kind of like, I don't want to say it's always been there, it's just gotten more prevalent.
It's still they show you the scores, like in Kansas City, they literally show you the scores and they put it up on a like a screen, so the whole crowd gets to know who's winning the fight in the corner. So I don't know if it would change anything in terms of that. I might make guys not want, like, fuck, I know I'm losing, fuck, why go into the fifth round or the third round? But I think overall it helps the sport more than anything. Open scoring, transparency is always. I don't know how transparency can ever be a bad thing.
Well, it's funny to say like, oh, for the official safety or whatever, and it's like, well, sometimes commissions make a point of like, hey, announce all of our people.
Yeah,
and sometimes they don't.
Very weird. It's a very weird response about the safety of the judges. Maybe I need to start going on that again. I need to start talking about that again with them.
Start going to the meetings.
Yeah, get back into that mix.
All right,
I've been to plenty of meetings.
I know. I remember you used to go.
Lapsing is real important to get amateurs figured out, and if I got a buddy who's in some trouble, I'll go. But they stopped doing them during COVID. They stopped doing the in-person meetings and moved them to a phone. I don't know. I've only been to one of the phone meetings. I should definitely get more involved. It's different though when you're in front of them.
Yeah, they can mute you if you. Prior to that fight, we had, I see in the comments, was probably a fight of the night. You guys can tell me what you think. Jacob Toledo and Ricky Chiapa. Jacob 4-1, Ricky undefeated 2-0, and Jacob took home the win via unanimous decision in what was a high-paced, incredibly action-packed flyweight bout between these guys. It was the rematch. They fought as amateurs, then now faced off, as we say, when it counts. And man, that fight was nonstop.
Yeah, it was nonstop action by both of those little guys from belt to belt. But I think just there was, to me personally, and no, there wasn't from my memory, like, even as battle back and forth as it was, it just Jacob Toledo just led the way the whole time. Now that's nothing to take away from Ricky, Chiapa. It's just that Jacob Toledo was just, to me, he was always ahead.
Yeah, it started out kind of rough. I remember correctly. I think Chiappa got hit. He walked into a right hand pretty early, um, in the first round, and it was kind of a shock to me because these guys grappled back and forth so much in their first fight, and I feel like Chiappa really had the edge in the grappling exchanges. He out scrambled Toledo, and then this go around, man, it was just stand up all night. It was great too. It was really good, really exciting. I do think that's what both those guys needed. They needed a good stand up fight. Um, I you know I'm shocked that Toledo was able to keep that pressure and that pace for as long as he did. Um, and but he still even got a little tired in the third round. But man, that pace in that first and second round, I don't know how Ricky was still standing there either. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was, I feel like maybe in Jacob's previous fight, he was a little bit tentative in that pressure and certainly was not implementing as much stand up. And in this one, right out the jump, he came out ready to throw hands and move forward constantly. And that's just ended up kind of being the way that the whole fight went was Jacob just pushing that pace, and Ricky battling back. But nevertheless, just the relentless pace from Jacob.
Yeah, Ricky had a lot of great moments, but Jacob just even when Ricky had a good moment, Jacob made sure he hit him. Got a punch in at the end. It was just like, Jacob's yeah, his pressure in that round was pretty crazy. And that fight was pretty crazy.
Are you calling that fight of the night, Mitch?
That, in my opinion, that would be fight of the night. Definitely on the pro side, a lot of really good amateur fights. Really showed out and put on some good shows. But yeah, got to be that fight. Knockout of the night. It's got to be Brad Taylor. Fight of the night. Got to be those guys. I
Yeah,
don't know about submission.
I'm trying to let me see if we didn't have a submission on the
Not for
pro side.
pros. Yeah.
We did have. I know we had one in the. Oh no! Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
Figueroa.
The guy that flipped off, that was a pro.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's for sure the submission of the night. So clear. These three moments are definitely without a doubt easy picks. What a crazy, crazy moment.
That's coming up in just a couple bouts. We'll talk about
Yeah.
that. But before that, we had a middleweight bout: Richard Anderson and Alejandro Brugal. Alejandro picked up the TKO in round 3. Both of these guys were making their pro debuts, but that fight also, was back and forth, kind of, like a hard fought battle, and Alejandro got it done there in the third.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight, man. Alejandro, it was crazy for Richard one to take the fight because Alejandro has so much experience with karate combat and undefeated in with us as an amateur champion, all those things. But bro, he gave Brugal hell. And he looked so much more improved from his previous fights. He looked really good. He had a lot of moments himself. He put Brugal in some really tough scenarios at the end of the first round. I think he even had Brugal in a deep choke at one point in time. I'm really excited to see, Richard get back in there. But Brugal as well, man. That was a good fight. That was a good back and forth fight too, to be honest with you. That was a good one.
Yeah, anytime I see middleweights on the card, I gotta circle them because it definitely was good to see the big boys, medium big boys going back and forth like that. And I think it was definitely when Alejandro definitely pulled it out in that third round because it was definitely a battle, like especially when you have two individuals making their pro debut like that. Like if I didn't look on the on the bio sheet, I wouldn't think that this was a pro debut the way that both the skill set of both of these fighters.
I see Brian jumped in the chat. He said, Rich showed so much heart. What I'll say about Brian, since I had to drop him off on the billiards at the house, and
whooping that fool.
I took him to school. Boy, it wasn't nothing to
it. Giving them lashings.
I wasn't there, Brian. Is that true? I know you're in the chat, Brian. Brian, is that true?
It was rough, Miles.
Is that true?
My,
Yeah, so he was
yo,
he was he was peanut gallery while I was just like
yes.
messing around shooting at the empty table, nobody there. I said, "Look, man, just pick up the stick and come over here." And so he picked up the stick and he came over there and then he
He said, "We
sat back
gonna
down.
Yo,
let them believe that."
then
So
he
he's not
continued to
confirming or denying.
then he continued to cheer on
Everybody that
everybody
I faced.
else. Ramsey beat all them too, me included. And yeah, man, Brian just, man, it was rough for Brian.
I won't leave him hanging like that. He got his get back after everybody went to bed. He beat me actually fair and square, but nobody was there to see it. So, and I got a mic. So
it didn't happen. It didn't.
I didn't see it. It didn't happen.
Prior to that fight, we had a catchweight bout: Shane Mason and Seth Dupuis. Shane came, looking for his first win. Seth also looking for his first win as the pro, and Seth got it done in round 1 TKO. We know Shane Mason comes out hot, and in this fight came out a little bit slower and did engaged heavy, but Seth, we talked about it before, is, such an amazing career as an amateur and just trying to get on the track and, figure it out as a pro. And, managed to pick up his first win last night in pretty dominant fashion. Prior to that, we had Jesse DeJong and Leonardo Figueroa. Now that is the submission of the night. Those guys went back and forth, and in an incredible moment where Leonardo, sinks. If you've seen our socials, he sinks in a rear naked choke, and he was fighting for it, a little bit prior to that, working back and forth. And then whenever he got it in and got under the chin, Jesse launched the double bird salute.
Yo,
and it wasn't that tight, or he was just gonna go to sleep.
he's gonna go to sleep. Here's the thing: I'm extremely jealous of the way DeJong went out. You can go back, and I'm sure you can find podcasts of me telling people that I always said that was gonna be the way. If I ever got put in a choke, I was gonna put double birds up and be like, "Fuck it, I'm out." Only problem is, when it finally did happen and someone had me in a deep rear naked choke and I couldn't defend it anymore and I thought I was going to go out, I thought I was dying. I was like, oh, Lord, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. Someone get this man. So I couldn't go to sleep with the double bird. I was too panicked. So
he must have had no, he didn't go to sleep. He must have had a similar thought process where he held him up there for a few seconds and then was
I was like, oh, damn.
You're going to kill me.
That was great. But yeah, man, he got hit with a nasty liver kick, and then he kind of he showed it, but tried to put his poker face on, and he came forward and got hit with another liver kick, and just kind of the way he folded and off the kick, put the hook in and took his back. It's such a weird way to get to his back and then put the choke in.
Yeah.
Honestly, a little bittersweet for me. I'm not gonna lie. Leo missed weight by an egregious amount, in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like guys missing weight and then having dominant finishes. It's just it just puts a big asterisk there for me. So Leo's gonna definitely have to figure out his weight for future fights. I like both these guys a lot too. First time working with DeJong, really good dude. I like DeJong a lot. We'll definitely have him back. And but crazy finish, man. I just wish there wasn't that asterisk there of missing weight.
Yeah, that was I thought Jesse did a good job of we know Leo's got some dynamic kicks, and I think he landed one early, and then DeJong did a good job of limiting that range and actually staying on the ground and didn't let Leo get back to that posture where he could do that karate style. But as soon as he did, he started launching those kicks hella effective.
Yeah, anybody who fights Leo, going into it, hey man, this guy is gonna try to, and it's not even super high head kicks. It's body kicks. He makes it an effort. I'm going to knock your ribs out, make you, hunch over, and then steal your soul. And when he kicked them, it's he kicked them so hard. That's what he turned around and give me your back. So it wasn't like he slipped. Some people may look back, oh man, he slipped or he fell. Like no, he kicked him and he turned in his back. That's what happens when you like control somebody, that much just with body kicks. Like
it was back to back liver kicks too. They were loud. Those hurt.
They popped.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever been able to say before, body kick to back take.
Yeah. That was nuts.
And then we kicked off the pro show with Swan Song for Robert Pitbull Masseline versus Walter Salea. Walter won by unanimous decision, and Robert put down the gloves in the cage after that. Salute to him. Fantastic competitor over the years. Always been a pleasure working with Robert. And, he's fighting, a stud in Walter Zalea, who, got it done in a hard fought, fight between those guys.
Great back and forth, man. This is a really good fight. They both had their moments. It was interesting because I'm used to Walter being very heavy pressure forward coming, going for broke. And he stayed back, calm, collective, and he just edged out. He just ended up edging out Robert, throughout the fight. But it was a great fight.
Yeah, you could definitely tell he respected the power of Robert. Like,
yeah, got a lot of love for Robert, man. Not a lot of 46-year-old men jumping in the cage with young bucks like Walter, So I'm glad he was able to do it and get a couple fights in, and I hope he enjoys his retirement. Maybe we get him back for one more, I think.
Yeah, if he could do that for us, that means there's still time for us.
Hey, he looked in phenomenal shape as usual.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my abs don't look like that, and I'm 36, so I got to figure out what he's doing.
That was the pro card, and then our amateur undercard. In the main event of that portion, we had Evan Spencer versus Solomon Reed, and both of these guys came in undefeated. They were fighting for the heavyweight title, and that was one of the cooler moments of the night. Solomon Reed got the knockout in round one, and he has been I don't know that he always did this, but certainly in his last couple of fights, he's been like barking heavy. And and he had the whole crowd doing it after that. I thought that was a cool moment and great performance from him, as those were two like true heavyweights in there throwing down, and Solomon Reed's got some handles.
Bro, they went right to it, just thumping. It's crazy. It's always crazy to me. Any weight does that, but heavyweights to me, it's like y'all know one land. That's it. But good for the fans.
Yeah, and there's like kill or be killed in there. Like he didn't even give Evan any opportunity to like even get utilize his range. Evan was like 6'4", Solomon's like 6'1", so it's like Evan definitely had the reach and the range advantage. But if your opponent doesn't give you the opportunity, as soon as all right, go, he just he never really had any opportunity to establish that range and that distance to keep Solomon Reed at bay. So he just ate him up.
Brian preaching in the comments, he said Combat Night belt is the legitimate one, and he showed that.
Oh yeah, he did come with the belt from some other. I don't even know what promotion it was, but he did come to Wayne's with another promotion's belt. So it's like, hey, if you're gonna do that, be bold enough. You walk in with one, you better walk out with two. Like otherwise, keep the other belt at home.
Solomon said, "Give me that one."
Imagine that. Imagine if he did that. But Solomon is such a cool, respectful. Yeah, he's a little scary. We know when the cage door locks and some of that. But outside the cage, he's so cool and very respectful and stuff. And that's what you want out of fighters. Some people don't really know the fight game. They think, oh man, like you do UFC. Oh man, that guy this or that guy that. Like no, of all the sports I've played or coached, whether it's at the youth sports level, Division I, like to me, martial artists. UFC, fighters and stuff like that I've met versus other professional athletes I've met. They're the most just down to earth, respectful individual. Yeah, you have your one-offs here and there, but as far as like just total package of just respectfulness of athletes, I think to me, MMA fighters have the most. And maybe that's just because they know if I walk in the room, I could probably whoop all your asses in here. So there's really nothing to be to be afraid of, or no any necessaries for me to be rude or disrespectful to folks. But he's definitely a good guy. I'm excited to see his next fight as he progresses on to turn pro.
Yeah, it's probably a mixture of being humbled in the gym, knowing you can beat everybody's ass, and being broke as shit.
Yeah.
Probably a mixture of those three.
And he was locked in with you, Miles, during your announcement of him.
I like the energy. Something that's why I said, hey, we come in, we give full hype, this, that, and the third, da da da. My whole spiel and stuff like that. And so I've liked being able to do that over the years. Like I say Solomon, I put that up there in my top 10 of fighter intros. It's still my favorite. It's Stone Cold Calderon. That's still in my my top 5. But the Solomon Reed, he definitely made the top 10 in there.
He was locked in. Our undercard co-main event was a light heavyweight bout between Jules Joseph and Mike Anderson. And Mike Anderson, a game opponent, but Jules Joseph got it done in round 1 via TKO. He was just a steamroller, and he put his foot on the gas from jump and just never let up. I think Mike got into a position where he had a brief straight arm bar position kind of attempt, and Jules shrugged it off.
Yeah, he was
and put his foot right back on the gas, and didn't give Mike a second to breathe.
Yeah, it was a great fight, man. Jules is another one of those guys that's super nice. It's ridiculous to see him in the gym. He's like the guy that doesn't go real hard in the gym because he doesn't want to hurt his teammates. Even if someone goes hard on him, he's a sweetheart of a dude. So it's always funny to me to see him when he fights, because it's like, I don't even know that guy. I don't ever see that guy except for when he fights. And when he fights, he comes forward, he throws, he slams, he punches. He's going for broke pretty much out the gate every time. He's had three fights, 3 first-round finishes, and the level of competition has been tough. Who was the last? Nija. Tough fight for your second fight, and now he's fighting Mike. It's like, man, he's taking some really tough fights. I'm excited to see what's next for him for sure.
Yeah, Mike definitely had like triple the amount of experience that's like cage ring time there as he had. So I think it definitely just speaks to the acumen of these fighters now getting into, they may have 1, 2, 3 fights or something like that, but they look just as good as individuals who have 5 or 10 fights.
Yep.
Prior to that, we had a lightweight bout between Michael Jeličić and Roy Runnels. Roy Runnels won via rear naked choke in round 2.
That's got to be the comeback of the night. I know I watched the second round, and I thought Jelic was gonna put him out, was gonna put out Roy, and then this is another one of those things. There's like if I had it, there's probably like 3 to 5 things that amateurs do, not even amateurs, like regional pros do too, that you see a lot. And that was one of those moments where Jelic went to get up and just kind of turned his back. It's like, bruh, don't ever turn your back in a fight. Don't. And Roy, bro, he jumped right on that and was like, yo, he was smiling. Bro had the back, and he must be good at the back, because he was like, he had like a smile on his face, like, yeah, I got this. That was a cool moment, though. Jelic, I feel like, had his way with him up to that point.
Yeah. I think the fight even before that can make a case for, another like comeback of the night. Van McMillan versus Jaheim Hewlett. In that first round, Jaheim was definitely getting the better of it and executing his game plan better. Huge slam from him in the first round, and then in the second round, I think he might have run out of gas just a little bit, and Bam got him up into the cage and hit him with some really some short punches that knocked him out.
Yeah, knocked him standing up, like just up against the cage. You just sometimes people have been pinned up against the cage, body shots, uppercuts, and stuff. I was like, okay, he working. Eventually, Jaheim might get off, or maybe Bam might transition, for a double leg. But no, it was 1, 2, and you just see Jaheim body just drop down. I'm like, oh damn.
I'm very mad. I missed this whole fight, and that's one of the fights that I really wanted to watch. I think the pro fighter meeting was happening. And then I
Well,
thought I was going to come back and watch the rest of it. And I watched them walk out of the cage. I was like,
Yeah.
well, we've seen Bam continue to come down in weight, and I thought he looked great at 185. I don't know how hard of a cut or whatever that was for him, but I think he looked great at 185, and can be a force there. Showed some great punching power.
he's such a nice dude, man. He's another one of those guys. So is Jaheim. Yeah, man. Maybe that's why we had such a mild crowd last night. We had so many good dudes fighting.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the guys fighting last night, they're the guys that never given any fuss. They always turn their shit in. They make, for the most part, most of them make weight. They're easy to work with. Yeah, it's a good night of fights.
Yeah. Before that, there was a heavyweight bout with Derek DeVoe and Chris Powell. DeVoe won via TKO in round 1. Both of them were making their debut. If you guys haven't,
the coaches were chirping more than the fighters. I don't think the fighters said one word.
I don't think so.
I think the fighters were pretty chill, didn't really say much, and their coaches were just yep. I don't know, man. I think it was a great fight. Good job. I really like the fight. They got right to it. Heavyweights that want to throw down. Awesome. But once it was on the ground, DeVoe had his way.
Yeah. Before that, man, incredible Muay Thai bout. Keith Forbes, Tyrese Gaines. Tyrese Gaines taking this fight on super short notice. And I guess, it's a short notice fight for Keith Forbes. He was scheduled to fight it, but opponent change, accepting the fight even up to the last minute. And those guys got busy. Forbes won via unanimous decision and took home a couple of souvenirs for his trouble with a cut on the forehead that when it happened, we just saw it go. As he backed up, it just went.
Illegal knee to the head too that didn't get called.
Yeah, there was actually a couple of them. There was one got called early but it hit him under the chin, and the official was like, "Hey, you're pulling his head down. You need him under the chin." But then he ended up getting hit with a couple more, one of which caused that cut on his forehead. But Forbes looked good.
Yeah, and that one was kind of his fault. He was in the clinch and he tried to like loop his head out, and on that motion right there, the knee hit. But you gotta be in control of your weapons. But yeah, man, bruh. So the other guy had a fight the same weekend. He also had a fight this Saturday, and his fight fell apart on him. So they both had the same situation happen. Their fights fell all out on them, and Forbes was fighting for us. He was fighting for Dom's show, I believe, and it was his teammate who had to pull out against Forbes because his teammate fell face first, cutting weight, and were one of the nastiest cuts I've ever seen. It's like eyebrow to eyebrow, like down the bridge of the nose, and he had to pull out of the fight basically on Friday. So his teammate stepped up, and man, that was one of the fight of the nights for me.
Yeah.
Amateur side of things, that was a great fight.
Lost my place. Andrew, prior to that featherweight bout, Andrew Jacobson and Jacob Nygaard. Jacobson won via unanimous decision, and that was another just fantastic fight.
Nygaard really turned it on in that third round. It was just a little too late.
And as I'm scrolling through the card and looking at it and just seeing how many guys we had, making debuts early on in the card. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to scroll through now because I forgot somebody. When he said, I was like, which guy was that? Was that the one with the tattoo or the one with the shortcut? Like, it was like over 20 fights. So like,
yeah, we started the card with 5 or 6 bouts that were all guys making their debut, and that whole portion of the card was dynamite.
Yeah, it was.
Like, great performances every single fight. And, you know, we had, you know, a couple of finishes, but a bunch of decisions, but amazing fights for decisions. Like, nothing that was like dragging on, or like, you know, guys just like holding on to positions and trying to, you know, survive or something. But it was really back and forth battles in all of those decisions. Kevin Hickson and Davian Hutto, that was one of the more sets of experienced guys that were fighting on the beginning of the amateur card. David Hutto won via unanimous decision and went to 4-0. Ryan Moxham won a split decision over Brandon Martinez. Both of those guys were making that, and that was in kickboxing.
That was a great fight. That was a great back and forth fight.
Yeah, because I know Ryan Moxham, he's one of those younger guys at the Jungle that's definitely have taken advantage of the PKB circuit, right? He's done like, I think maybe like 9 or something like that PKBs. Like, it's just wait until he gets ready. The coach Alec and Coach Eric and stuff like that. So I told him at the last one, I showed up. I was like, hey, you know what, Ryan? That's what you got to say. I was like, you need to max out. Stop being, you know, conservative, and stop, you know, oh man, this. I like, no, you need to max out. And then from there, the nickname stuck. And all throughout like the week leading up to his last PK, I was like, hey, this your last PKB. I'm tired of you doing these PKBs. You put in all this work and stuff like and whatnot. Like, yeah, the PKBs are cool, but this the last one. All right. Because he's, you know, really cool with Seven Perkins and Sebastian, all the rest of those guys. Like, you show up and you train Friday night and Tuesday night to spar with everybody else. It's time. No disrespect to the PKBs. I love them. I feel like they're great. But, hey, cut that shit out. No more PKBs. Get ready for a Combat Night fight. So finally to be able to see him at 20 years old make his Combat Night kickboxing debut, that was definitely a good moment, as Unk in the gym, they call me to see.
Him and his opponent were chirping a little bit, and you got upset with him at one point.
Yeah, I had to change from, you know, switch real quick from commentator mode to / you know, coach mode, because I'm like, dude, what do you do? That is not what we practice. You should at no point in time let another person be able to get up underneath your skin like that, to break you out of your character, you know, just as a man on the street. But then also too, like in the fight game, you shouldn't let your opponent be able to chirp to get underneath your skin, because then that disrupts, you know, the game plan. But then I got, you know, right back into commentary mode.
Yeah, no, you did.
I gotta go watch that moment now.
Yeah.
You might hear Miles Mike Dem and just hear him yelling.
Yeah, I cut my mic off. I turn it off.
Stop talking.
Man, cut all that shit out. Like, what you doing, man? Cut all that shit out. Like,
you hear it through Ramsey's mic.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You might hear it through Ramsey's mic.
You know, I like talking. I get it. It ain't for everybody, you know, but I like talking as long as you're whooping ass while you're talking.
Well, I think in that moment, his opponent got the better of him right at the end of the round too. And so I think that's what kind of triggered Miles, is like, oh, you too worried about talking, and you let this guy get off on you a little bit.
Exactly. Like,
can't do that now. You know, and he was a little disappointed at the end of the fight. He didn't look very happy about the way he fought, which is good. You want to see guys be a little hard on themselves. Davian Hutto was the same way. He actually messaged me and was like, yo, man, I'm sorry for the way I performed, da, da, da. And it's like, hey, be happy. If you know you perform like shit, or you didn't perform to your standard, you should be happy. You got to learn and win. Some people got to learn and lose. It's much better when you learn and you win.
Yeah.
Another couple of guys before that making their debut, Luis Torres and Christopher Charles. Christopher Charles won via split decision.
That was a good fight, man. I thought Torres won the fight. But I could see it going either way. But I thought Torres did enough in the grappling department to win the fight. He actually impressed me. He trains at Fusion. I'll be honest with you. I've never trained with a guy. I haven't really talked to him either. I think the first time I talked to him was in the cage, very quiet. First time I talked to him was in the cage. I was like, yo, man, congrats. Like, great job. Like, you killed it. Like, win, lose, or draw, you did a good job. He literally, after the fight, Julian picked him up, and then he like and just like fell over again. I love seeing that with these debut guys. You know, they're getting the first experience of feeling what it feels like, the adrenaline, the everything, and it was cool to see that fight.
Just a couple more. Featherweight Muay Thai bout. James Grady won via TKO in round 1 over Rogelio Menendez.
Rogelio. I didn't watch that fight.
I obviously did, but I feel like that was years ago.
I'm going back to watch them all probably tomorrow.
Before that, there was a middleweight fight, Maximo McLean Benitez versus Nicholas Clark. Both of those guys making their debut. Benitez won via unanimous decision.
I like him. I like
out of train fight win.
Yeah, he was talking. He said some funny stuff. He had the little Chama Poetan moment where he got kicked pretty good in the nuts, and he's like, "Nah, chill." Yeah, I liked him a lot. He was talking up against the cage. He was saying, "What's up to me?" His opponent was like, "I'm fucking tired." It was hilarious. It was honestly a little funny moment between the two of them. But yeah, it was a great fight. I'm excited to see what he does too. Yo, bro had a nasty ringworm on the side of his face.
Okay, it was that dude, because I'm looking through on Instagram trying to say, okay, what did these two get? Yeah, there was
Miles knew as soon as I said that. He's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, we said word, yeah, because it was against the black dude that he with the abs.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He's and I was like, I was trying to get a video of it. He's like, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about." And I was like, "Nah, bro." He's like, "It's Medicaid. It's good." I'm like, man. Oh,
but isn't that why they search him down? All right, let me see the but I guess that amateurs they don't do as.
Man, people fight with staff, Miles, in the UFC.
I ain't never fight with no wingworm.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying there's been multiple instances where people fought with staff in the UFC. They talk about it. It ain't. It is what it is, bro. Unless it's an open wound, they be letting these fools do whatever. But thankfully, apparently the darker your skin is, the harder it is for you to get ringworm and skin infections. But I hope his opponent didn't get no damn shit. That would suck.
So basically, Nicholas is safe. Nicholas Clark is safe.
Nicholas Clark should be real safe.
He's safe. Like, black folks can't get wingworm. That's basically what you're saying, Mitch.
It is. Yeah. No, that's true. The darker your skin is, the more protected you are against all skin diseases.
I don't
skin
remember.
Cancer.
I'm sure maybe I have to ask my mom. I was like, "Mom, I ever had wingworm?" Because I don't remember ever having it. But maybe I got to ask my mom as a kid.
I've had it like maybe once or twice, and one time it was from doing planks on like the rubber mats for CrossFit floors they use.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing planks on that, and they were having us what was it? It was like do some kind of shit, moving our shit, and like I got a little scratch on my thing from it. I went and washed my arms right away, bro. Next day, ringworm in that same exact. It was literally no time.
So it was at a dirty gym.
Well, it's a gym that people don't like grapple at.
No. It was not CrossFit Tough as Nails. I can tell you that.
No, it was not. They be using that scrubbing machine every day.
Don't do Hank like that.
Nah. But whenever you're on surfaces where people are walking on throughout the day and sweating on, like, it's kind of my own stupidity. I should have got a yoga mat and did it, but thought my skin was gonna protect me.
Yeah. I mean, as much as you go barefoot, you like I don't get ringworm. Ringworm gets me.
You heard? That's that Polk County in me, man.
We kicked off the card with a lightweight MMA bout, Miles Cronin versus Aaron Sharp. Another pair of guys making their debut. Miles Cronin, out of the jungle, picked up a win via armbar in round 1.
Yeah, it's cool to finally be able to see like in another young kid. I remember when he first started coming to, I think he was like a sophomore. I'm in high school in a wrestling team. I saw him move around a couple times. So the first time I was like, "You got my name. You're gonna have to change your name if you're gonna be at this gym." And second, I was like, also too, if your name gonna be Miles, you're gonna have to be good, man. So come on, come with me. Let's run stuff like that. Hey, let me teach you a couple of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna submit you, but then I'm still gonna teach you as I'm submitting you, you know, especially if your name is gonna be Miles. Right.
He's Miles with a Y.
Miles with a Y.
Miles with a Y. So eventually, you know, some guys, young kids come in the gym like, you know, I want to do UFC or I want to, you know, stuff like that. But he was like, yeah, you know, I just want to do maybe a couple of tournaments. He wasn't quite sure if he ever wanted to take a fight. But then once his senior year hit, he graduated last year. And he's like, you know, I want to do a MMA fight before I go. He's going off to the Air Force. He's like, before I go off to the Air Force, I want to do a fight. I was like, all right, well, you know, I'm gonna push you. You know, you definitely have to lock in, as they say.
Like, dang, so he's done already, huh?
He might. I don't know what he wants to you know, do afterwards or whatnot. Yeah. But he's going off to the Air Force.
So we'll see him in 5 years.
Minimum. Yeah. I don't know how long his contract is.
maybe we will. All right.
So
right back at
it. We said it, yeah. That so our fight of the night, Chiapa Toledo, our submission of the night, Figueroa, and our knockout of the night, Brad Taylor. And you know, on the amateur undercard, maybe also sign them a Keith Forbes fight of the night on that side
for sure.
And I probably Solomon Reed probably KO.
Reed too.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, we right back at it for us full timers. We'll be in Fort Pierce next weekend for
correction. Miles in the chest. He's going to the Navy, not the Air Force. My bad. He said he's going to the Navy.
I was reading that.
Oh, and he also said I want another one.
You want another? Okay, then hey man, you know, you want to fight next week?
When you going? When you going to the Navy, bro? When you going to the Navy? Where's the comments at? Let's see.
Who's going to AB, another kid who just graduated. He's going to the Air Force. We got a kickboxer. We got two young guys who just graduated, class of 2025. One's going to the Air Force, Abe, and then Miles, he's going to the Navy. So yeah, man, if you want another fight, you know.
When are you going? That's what I want to know.
He said December 8th.
Oh, well, like in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know Donaldson was posting. He was like, I need this whatever way. I know he listed like at least like 3 or 4 people he was trying to find matchups for.
Yeah, bro, come on down to Fort Pierce. We got any jungle guys on that? I don't think so, huh?
No, there's no jungle guys on
that. One jungle guy we don't have on that.
Yeah, part-timers.
I mean, I guess you're not gonna have, you know, your best ring announcer. You're also too not gonna have your best ticket agent or VIP manager.
I know, or our best door opener. No, I'm lying. I can't have him thinking he's good at anything. Yo, with your nephew, I don't even know if he's on here. I hope he's not on here. Where's he at?
Is he? I didn't.
Luis Perez is upset you ain't gonna be there, man.
It's the other dude,
the homie Paul. He
normally
Strang.
does
Paul Strang will be the announcer.
Yeah,
Lewis, if you want me to, bro, I'll grab the mic for your fight and I'll announce your fight.
Oh, you have to dip in.
Yo, but I gotta son your nephew a little bit, man. He got jokes. He got jokes for days, so I gotta unk him.
Did he say that he could submit you again?
Oh, he won't do that because that video's coming. That's the thing too, is like that video's coming. They don't post it. Don't post it.
Nah, post it.
Nah, bro, I'm posting it. You talk too much.
He's
like, I want to. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you already got him a little bit in the little flying video.
Oh yeah.
I'm going viral.
I heard him say last night, Tim can't beat me.
God.
Yeah, I was like, bro. He's like, Uncle Mouse, you think that guy could beat me? I was like, Tim, yes, Tim is beat. He was like, what about that guy? He was like, you think Make Money Not Friends could beat me? I was like, Brian, yes. I was like, Brian, yes, Brian is beating me. He's undefeated.
A lightweight champ.
Yeah. He's beating you. I was like, you see that camera guy over there? Andrew, you could be him. Like go like you could be that guy, right? That's about it.
No, unless Andrew sees red.
Unless he's
That's his secret power. Steve's red.
You got to smack his girlfriend on the
man.
butt, and then he might beat your ass. Like,
But then I will too. So.
Well, then he got Papa. Then he got Papa Bear to worry about. That's real drama. Yeah, I gotta keep him on a short leash. I gotta keep him on a very short leash.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure out too. I know we shouldn't be doing the podcast, whatever, but we got to figure out. We got to redo these jerseys. Who gets them and who don't? I think your nephew might be on the verge of earning one.
Yeah, I told him one full year with Combat Night, and then he can start begging for extra stuff.
But really, it's
year.
because of you. He's consistent. I know it's because you be bringing him.
Yeah.
So
he was asking me about it. I said, yeah, you just got to make every show in a year. And he was like, all right, thank you, Mr. Ramsey.
Yeah, he tell you last night about me trolling him about him being tired.
No, he was tired. He should have been tired.
You should ask Juan, Fat Boy, about it. He's like, bro, it's in between it's like the beginning of the pro show, and he's like, I'm so tired, and I was like, bruh, you sound like my 3-year-old daughter right now, bro. Why are you crying? And he's like, I'm not crying. I'm just tired. And I was like, bro, you're whining like a little girl. I was giving him hell. He was getting so mad. He's like, I'm not crying.
No, nephew cracked me up one of his first times out. He was like, all right, so if I need to like take a bathroom break or something, like who do I need to tell? And I was like, bathroom break.
We don't get no bathroom break at Combat Night.
Bathroom breaks at intermission, mom.
Yeah. When you hear your uncle say, we'll be back in 5 minutes, you better run.
You better hurry up quick.
Yeah. Mello jumped in the comments. He said, y'all ready for next weekend? Certainly looking forward to that matchup between Mello and Papa G.
Yes. That is a crazy fight. I cannot wait. The pre-show for that one, we got some really good fight. We slid in here at the very end with a bunch of firefights. Like, it was crazy the way it's happened. The last, like, we've just matched like 4 or 5 fights that are like, we got Justin Vasquez coming back. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll talk Siddiq, I think is how you pronounce it. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez recently. Dominant. Sadiq. Yeah. Okay. Is fighting Justin Vasquez from down south, Freedom Fire. Yeah, fire. The last show of the year always delivers. Them boys in Fort Pierce come to fight, amateurs and pros.
Yeah, this is what we affectionately refer to as the Super Bowl of MMA.
Yes.
Looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll jump on and we'll talk about that card on Friday, and as it takes its full form, let you know what we think about those fights and how they are going to play out. So that'll be Friday. Probably another. I think I like this 9:30 time slot over 9 p.m.
Whatever. Yeah, that extra 30 minutes helps so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of my kids are asleep, so I was like, good.
Yes.
All right, fellas. Thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you're following us. Hit like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of our places. Good talking to you guys. Miles, I'll see you next year. Mitchell, I'll see you probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Later on.
Sure.
See ya.
Are you ready for Combat Night?